Right now, it's time for us to do a little traveling with All Board Travel in downtown Hillsdale. Christina Boyer joins us on the line, just back from Mexico, right?
Yes. I had an absolutely wonderful time down there. It's been a few years. I haven't been down since about 2021, I think was the last time I had a chance to go to Mexico. I know Luann was there earlier. But I just, I had a really good experience. And it wasn't only the fact that we were there for a visit and a real vacation. I didn't have to sightsee. I didn't have to do any hotel inspections while I was there. But you know me, I'm always working regardless. We stayed at the Dreams Riviera Maya, so a little farther south than Cancun. It was very hot and very humid this time of year. But not only did we go for a vacation, and I had the opportunity to take my family and have some friends, we were also there for a destination wedding. So a lot of great things going on all at one time while we were down there.
So, walk us kind of through what's different, what's new, what did you enjoy, what would you do differently?
So one thing I loved about this specific property, it was a little smaller. So it really only had about 500 rooms, had 7 restaurants to choose from. The food was very good. Honestly, it exceeded my expectations for the cost of the vacation, to be perfectly honest. Delta nonstop flights straight down, easy 4 hours. Once you arrive there, luggage was super quick getting picked up in Cancun. People were very helpful. I know we always talk to our clients about being careful with the people that are really close to the airport, trying to sell you timeshares and activities. But the minute that you stepped outside, then there was another section for cab drivers. And then a little bit farther then were all of your transfer companies. So the Delta Vacations, your other tour companies that we utilize all the time were all there too. They were super sweet, hooked us right up. Now, here's a tip I definitely think clients need to start using, especially for those who don't mind using their cell phones when they're traveling, the WhatsApp. We hear about that all the time. What's, just like we're saying it, what's an app all ran together. But it is a great app to be able to communicate with tour companies, bus drivers, local guides, things like that when you're traveling out of the country that immediately let you get that information. It was so sweet. They took a picture of me really quick. He was like, let me let you know the hostess. And so the hostess knew what I looked like when I got to the hotel. She was able to go back and forth with me really quick and say, here's when you come and check in. If you want to have this awesome $25 off credit, you can utilize this. You can get your, promotions to go to the spa, all of these really cool things that you could use. And she was able to communicate back and forth with me while I was on Wi-Fi, or if you have your cell phone on, you can use it then too.
Yeah,
so that's one thing I highly recommend.
we actually did that in
Here.
Italy because we didn't have the cell service there or not, and we didn't have there, and so it was in Italy they use that all the time, so it worked out perfectly for us.
It is. It's really great to be able to utilize. I took time to use the spa, which was amazing. And not only did I have a normal massage, but also some other body treatments that were available. And with it, they gave you the hydro pool or the hydro massage available. So I was able to do the spa portion where you did the sauna, the steam room, the plunge pool. Then you walk through the super cool, long pool that snake-like through the little gardens. And while you're there, you stand in one area, and it's all the, kind of like a jacuzzi style, but it's massaging your feet. Then you go to the next spot, and water is hitting you very hard on the back of your shoulders, so you keep moving along for this hydro pool, which was really awesome to be able to experience. They had basically friendly resort. One thing I did like about it was the 3 pools were very close together. I've been to very large resorts where I think about, in the future when we're traveling with, littles, that I'm going to have to walk clear to the other end of the property, where my adult family is hanging out in the adult pool and the infinity, hanging out at the pool bar, and now my family with the littles are way in the back property doing the kid stuff. Very close proximity together. So we did really like that. The beach, the sand was gorgeous. They took very, very good care of it. However, the biggest problem this time of year is the algae bloom. And so they're really struggling down there again, trying to keep all of that seaweed from coming in and having it. Yeah. It was, the water made me think if I went in the ocean right now, will I turn into the next Marvel character? It was not pretty blue water, all of that kind of stuff. But, when in a few minutes, you got to get in the ocean while you're there. But you didn't see a lot of people in that specific section doing much. Now, Cancun proper up there, the water was so much clearer. You saw a lot of people utilizing water sports and doing things there. So it just happened to be in the zone that we were in at the time where the seaweed was coming in.
Now, Cancun, obviously, there's so many different types of resorts, different places to go. How do you know how to, to funnel down and pick the right one that's going to be the right resort for you?
And that's what we're here for at All Aboard, and why we try to travel as much as we can and get as much feedback from our clients coming back. Because you are right, there is a ton of resorts. Some people want that busier part of Cancun where they can do lots of shopping, or maybe even down in Playa del Carmen, which is like Fifth Avenue of Mexico. You have all of that available for you. But other people want that quiet. Do you want a big resort where there's so much going on? 1,500 rooms, different things, happening all night long. Are you looking for more adults only? Are you looking for family-oriented? So there's so many questions that go into that, not just like, that's the cheapest one, let's stay there.
Yeah.
Because there's a reason. All-inclusive used to mean a good used to mean luxury. Now you have value, you have moderates, and you definitely have your luxury properties. So it does go very much from one extreme to the other when you're looking at price points and what's important to certain people.
Yeah.
I would highly recommend where we stayed. And being there for a destination wedding was really neat. I've planned them on my side, sitting at my desk, helping the brides, making sure that they've connected with the wedding coordinator. But it was so amazing once they met the wedding coordinator down there. And being a very close friend of mine, and, of course, having my own daughter's wedding, a month prior, I was like, do you want me to sit in on the meetings? Do you need anything? She was like, nope, we're good. They did everything. They made sure the dining was good, the music was great, everything was set up. Chairs were put up at the ceremony, taken down immediately during cocktail hour, ran down to the lower level where we had dinner. All of that went very, very smooth, and the bride was extremely impressed.
Were you able to actually unplug, though, yourself in your brain? Or were you still in observation mode?
Now, Ken, we've been talking for a lot of years. What do you think?
As long as you could tone it down
unplugged.
some. Yeah, as long as you could tone it down some. That's great.
I definitely did tone it down, yes. I did not. I kind of sat back and took it in and did get to enjoy all of the moments. And, it was really neat. My kids all got to go, too. And as our friends and family that we've traveled with, you have your family that you've raised as your friends, right? Mm-hmm. So we're all together. We look around. We have one more that's younger, but we had a 21st birthday that week while we were there. So all of our kids were adults for once. There was no little kids. There was no worrying about doing that. It was a really awesome experience to suddenly realize you're vacationing with all your adult children.
Talking to Christina Boyer from All Aboard Travel in downtown Hillsdale, just back from all-inclusive wedding in Mexico. All right, whenever people say Mexico or a lot of countries you might go to, you think safety. Are there any concerns in Mexico these days, or what should people be on the lookout for?
So, definitely people do worry about that. And we did not notice that in any ways. Now, we were there a very short period of time. We didn't leave the resorts. People were very friendly. Everyone felt really safe. I mean, we asked the bus driver on our way. He was like, I'm going to stop and get gas. And it was kind of interesting. I'm not sure I've ever seen a bus driver have to stop and get gas on a short period. But we're like, can we go into the gas station and get some cervezas? He was like, absolutely. So, we ran in. We got a couple beverages. We didn't feel that, oh, my gosh, people are looking at us like, oh, Americans are here. They appreciate that we are there, and they are thankful that we are there. So all of the different countries, and I know, obviously, there's places you do need to be more cautious when you're off the resort and the tourist sections of anywhere you go, whether it's in America or in Europe or Mexico. But I think as far as people concerning about the friendliness and them wanting Americans there, they by all means want us there.
All right. Class is about a week and a half away for some school districts here in the area. And so maybe it's last-minute vacation getaway time before the kids go back to class?
It is. So I know some schools are starting really quick, but if you're looking for that Labor Day weekend holiday, wanting to do something a little bit closer, there are so many great opportunities to do that. I spent a weekend up in Hart at Silver Dunes again last weekend. Really, really fun. Great little restaurants. If you want to rent and go do the Mac Dune rides, you can do that. There in Hart, you have a really neat place with zip lines and putt-putt and go-karts. And if you're looking for something not too far away, it's a little out of the norm, that's a great location to be able to be that with Lake Michigan, Hocking Hills, Gatlinburg. We have a lot of people doing that last-minute Wisconsin Dells, Cedar Point adventures. So if you're looking to do something kind of quick, But then if you're like, okay, kids are back in school, now it's time for our adult vacation. The fall has got some really, really good deals. Great prices right now for a January cruise that I just found on the Norwegian Joy. 2 people in a balcony cabin for 4 nights, no airfare, all of your drinks, all of your dining, of course, 1 specialty night, Wi-Fi is included, and you get some shore excursion credits. January 18th, starting off at $1,440 for 2 people. So fantastic price right now to be able to do that. So if you're looking for some hot deals and you're thinking, the snow word comes right after school starts, now we got an opportunity to get you somewhere warm too.
All right, great stuff. Any other last-minute thoughts we need to have here, or actually your trips that you've got coming up in the next year or so for folks?
Definitely. So coming up in December, we have our Easton Center. It's going to the Easton at Christmas, and so that's going to be in Columbus, and that's our bus trip that we have going. So great. I know people love it when we go to the different places. It's a great place to unwind. It's one huge city block. Everything's decorated, great food. You've got wine tasting opportunities, local boutiques, and larger stores that you're looking for. So if you're looking to do a little bit, thinking about that Christmas shopping, it's going to be here way faster than we can think. But we will have 1 night overnight at the Aloft, and that's available depending on whether people are in a room of 2, 3, or 4. So those prices are available. You can see that on our website or online at allaboardtravelhillsdale.com. And then staying tuned. We're going to be releasing some new stuff very, very soon. We've also got the Coastal Alaska Tour for June 6th of 2027. So if you've been watching all of those pictures of everybody else coming back from Alaska for this year, now's your time to get booked for next year.
There you go. Christina Boyer from All Aboard Travel in Hillsdale with us on the line. Give us a little bit more tease on the Alaska trip and what that cruise will kind of look like, because that's the perfect time of year to be in Alaska, isn't it?
It is. It's just before the solstice, and actually this time we're going to escort a non-cruise. So this is going to be a land tour only, making sure that everybody gets the opportunity to do the Tundra Wilderness Tour, conservation at the wildlife, Kenai Fjord National Park. You can visit Exit Glacier. You'll have a chance to see the Alaska Heritage Center, so Denali, Talkeetna, Seward, and then Homer, Alaska, which is one of my favorite places while we're there. And if anybody wants the opportunity to go halibut fishing, we'll make sure that you get a chance to do that. So that's going to be June 6th to the 14th of 2027. Price per person before airfare is $4,680. And you can already see that on our website and on our Facebook, too, and more details to come when people are ready.
All right. So real quick, airline prices right now, up, down, where we at? Obviously, gas prices had been up and now back down again. What we're looking at for airlines?
I think they're okay. I'm in the middle of working on a group for people who are traveling in October, and it's 180 passengers traveling from all over the United States into one specific city in the U.S., and I don't think the prices are bad. I mean, a few unique places, like if you're trying to fly out of Bismarck, North Dakota, it's been a little bit higher, but if you're flying out of some of the other areas, I think they look just very normal. So we've seen a lot of Seattle prices looking good right now, California, down to Florida. You're seeing a little bit of changes with Allegiant Air and when they're traveling to certain destinations. So I know out of Fort Wayne to Las Vegas, they're cutting back a little bit of their service there. So you may see some fluctuations and some things. But otherwise, all in all, I think the prices for the air look really good right now.
All right. So you're giving people all these ideas. How do they get in touch with you and get more information?
Give us a call at 517-437-4844. You can, of course, as we said, or travelhillsdale.com. And then if you want to stop over, just give us a call. We'll get an appointment. Super excited. We've got a new staff member. Samantha Moore has joined our team this year, so All Aboard is growing. We'll have some new faces and new voices in All Aboard soon, along with all of your favorites are still here. But we're going to be able to help our clients just a little bit more. So as we work through some training here from even more people.
All right, 517-437-4844. allaboardtravelhillsdale.com is the website. Christina, thanks. If not sooner, we'll talk next month, all right?
You're welcome. Have a great day.
Christina Boyer from All Aboard Travel in downtown Hillsdale on our monthly travel show.